If you just joined us, welcome to Social Club Live. We're discussing the things that are wrong with football, the things that do your head in. One I want to throw out there, just to lighten the tone for a minute. Michael Owen's commentary. Why? Why is he a commentator? Anyone?
I don't know.
Anyone? No. No one's...
He's dreadful.
Peds, you've normally got an opinion on most things, whether you should have one or not.
Because he doesn't offend anyone. Which is
He
another...
does.
No. Which is another thing that is wrong with the game.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone... And this is why we... And this format is becoming more and more powerful. Is because ex-players, and this is what I wanted to drive on before, ex-players are just bad tits, right? How dare, and I know he's a legend, but how dare Ian Wright criticise your fans for having an opinion about just because it's different from theirs? Do you see a game where, okay, they've just beaten Hull, just beaten Hull. 3 days later, 4 days later, you get beaten home by Watford. And it's this idea, and you did it last week at Goodison, you just had a great win, but your fans were still having a go at the ownership. And come, win, loss, whatever, that's great, they should be able to, but it's when the ex-players go, oh, how dare they? And I've had this before, it's when, you hear ex-players always backing other ex-players, so it's like, oh, well, he's unhappy now, so that club should sell him. Why? Just because you were an ex-player and you were in the same boat, why? We had it with John Stones, they should let him go, he's unhappy, why? Yeah. Oh, well, his form will dip? No, won't. He'll just play because he's a professional footballer. They are the biggest pains in the arses in football as far as I can see, because it's like one little club and they will never ever say anything offensive, and when they do, suddenly the hushed, sideways. Yeah. Stan Collymore is a good one, whether you like him or not, he's got an opinion. Yeah. At least he's got an opinion. I think...
Well, hang on, Robbie Savage has got an opinion.
No, it's just a tit.
Actually, just know people's thoughts on Michael Owen's commentary. Is he the worst co-commentator in the history of football?
See, he just says that the thing is about his commentary is that some of the things he says...
Yes, by the way, but in the comments.
It's so obvious. I mean, it's just...
he made me laugh the other day. Sorry, just jumping in. Great to see England win. First time in Germany, and he had the picture of his boots and the shirt. I was like, it's not the first time they've won since you won 5-1. They won in 2008, 2-1.
So in your face, showing your bad tits.
Yeah, stick to your horses, you knob.
Flav, what do you think of Michael Owen? No opinion?
Indifferent, insipid, got nothing to say.
Chris?
Michael Owen? No, not for me.
But he's one of your heroes, though, surely?
There are some commentators out there that are good at the jobs. Gary Neville was a prime example of that. Yeah. Someone that I hated throughout his entire career. Stepped onto the telly, and was absolutely brilliant because he's got a knowledge of the game.
Well, you've been going on about...
He's got an opinion.
Fletcher and McManaman.
Fletcher and McManaman are the only two that don't annoy the living daylights out of me. I actually really enjoy when they're commentating on a Liverpool game. Look, I love watching Paul Scholes talk about United because he knows about that football club. But it's about getting the right person commentating on the right type of game. So when you're talking Paul Scholes and Man United, brilliant. Don't want to hear Paul Scholes talk about Liverpool? No. I want to hear a Liverpool
player, what one of the big problems is, though? Some of the names you just mentioned there are prime candidates. Paul Scholes, no one can question his opinion at Man United. No one can lock him out at Man United. No, if he wants... We've got this problem in football, right, where football clubs are getting so media savvy that they are stopping people from coming in. Liverpool had it, I think, a few years ago. It was one of the first ones. I think they banned Ian St John for having an opinion. Houllier stopped him from coming in. It happens at Everton. It happens at Everton now. People will not say anything bad about them because they're afraid that suddenly their tickets will be stopped.
Absolutely.
We've got 3 ambassadors of our club. 3 ambassadors. And their job is to basically...
Who are Everton's ambassadors?
Graham Sharp, Ian Snowden and Graham Stewart.
That's technically 2 you've done there.
I know, well, look, I've got an imaginary finger. I only count 2 of them. There was rumours that someone else wanted the job and wasn't given the job, who had a lot more sort of... Well, let's just say he's the most successful captain Everton have ever had. But because he's got an opinion, he was stopped from having it. Yeah. Because they've got to toe the party line. And that we're getting too much of that in football as well. So the likes of Carragher, who can say whatever he wants about Liverpool because he's a legend. The likes of Scholes can say whatever he wants about Manchester United. Steve McManaman, because obviously he's such a big Evertonian. They can have their opinions because they're not bigger than the clubs, obviously, but they can go back to the clubs and no one can shut the door in the face.
I'll tell you who we've got who's got to be the most opinionated pundit is Paul Merson.
He's another one. He's another tit.
But
That's who's worse, though.
He's
Alan
not
Smith.
scared to say what he thinks, and I respect him for that still.
Yeah.
I respect. Listen, I don't always agree with the stuff he says.
crap on FIFA.
I don't agree with it, but you know, I respect the fact, like you said about Stan Collymore. I respect Stan Collymore because he says it how he sees it.
You know what? It's
You know,
daft. I never thought I'd say this about Stan Collymore, but when he was at the FBA Awards, the fact that he turned up and he learned the names of everyone else who was in the same category as him, didn't need to do that. He just needed to rock up, be Stan Collymore, post for a few selfies and go home. You know who did that? And I actually thought, and I liked him more prior to it, was John Barnes. I had more respect for John Barnes than Stan Collymore, having then put them both in the same room. Collymore came out on top because at least he takes it.
Well, who ended up being the one who looked like he was there for the money? The one who rapped, obviously.
The one who rapped, yeah.
But the thing about Collymore is he's already crossed over the line. I think last year he had a problem. BT were going to bring him on, and then something came out in the paper, and then suddenly they didn't want to use him. So it's almost like he's already gone past the point. So now he'll just say, "I'll say what I want. Absolutely. I'll say what I want." Chris?